Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Super Bowl Post Show. It is your host Stephen Heyman, and today, obviously, we're joined by a familiar face, of Matt Oler. How you doing, dog?
Popping, homie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so obviously, you guys know Matt. You've heard his voice before now, but now you guys have a face to the name. So, yeah. So today, we will be talking about DC. Thank God, WandaVision is over. I'm pretty much done with that show. I will not be talking about that anymore. Maybe I might be lying, but it'll be a rant. The
He's
next time we
probably
talk about
lying.
that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna rant about that soon because I was actually really pissed. But so yeah, so we're covering DC today. Today we will be talking about about the potential of a new Superman, and we will also be talking about just DC in general, where they're going as a company. Do we like it? Do we hate it? The Snyder Cut. We're just going to talk about a bunch of DC talk today, man. But the pinnacle of this topic right now is Superman, Superman, Superman. So, I do want to share my screen here because I do have the article up, and we're going to read this article, and then Matt and I are going to share our opinions to you fools about how we feel about this thing. So, if you devote your eyes to the screen here, shout out to Heroic Hollywood. I steal all of your posts. I literally used them on my Instagram, so thank you for that. You got me more likes. So Warner Brothers looking to cast Black Superman for Jar Jar Abrams reboot. Um, Warner Bros is reportedly looking to cast a Black Superman for the upcoming reboot from producer J.J. Abrams. After the shocking news that Jar Jar Abrams is producing a new Superman reboot, writer Taneshi Coates for Warner Brothers. Oh, alongside, sorry, writer Taneshi Coates for Warner Bros. It sounds like as if the studio is looking to cast a Black Man of Steel for the upcoming project. There's been talk of Michael B. Jordan taking over the role from Henry Cavill for quite some time. Although, when talking about the role back in 2019, the star explained that if he were to take on a character like that, it would be done with care and caution. Well, at least Michael B. Jordan knows that, even though Killmonger was. All right, following the reboot news, the Hollywood Reporter's Boris Kidd explained on Twitter that although Michael B. Jordan attempted his Superman project in 2019, it didn't get very far. However, according to the journalist sources, Warner Bros. And J.J. Abrams could return him to play the lead in the new reboot. Take a look below. This is by Boris Kidd. I don't know how credible this dude is, but whatever. He's obviously on every article I've tried to look at. So this is what it says. Michael B. Jordan tried to develop a Black Superman project when he first arrived in the studio. To the studio with his deal in 2019, but that did not go very far at the time. According to sources, it is possible that the studio could return him to start down in the line. Um, would you like to see Michael B. Jordan take disguise as Val Zod in the Jar Jar Abrams movie? Which blase blase blase. Okay, so obviously, as if you guys don't know, J.J. Abrams signed a massive deal with Warner Brothers. Um, don't ask me why. I don't know why. He's a terrible director. He only gets jobs because he's Steven Spielberg's boy. I mean, let's be completely honest with you. That's how he got the Star Wars connection. But yeah, so obviously, and I do want to say this because a lot of people don't understand J.J. Abrams. Okay, he is a petty dude, man. He is a petty guy. And for everyone who thought that J.J. Abrams was going to keep Henry Cavill, that was never going to happen. If we take a look at what happened in Star Wars, right? In The Last Jedi, we see Rose. Rose was a prominent character in the movie. Every character that Ryan Johnson highlighted, J.J. Abrams downplayed the crap out of him in the next movie because he's that petty of a guy. J.J. Abrams is the kind of guy where he's going to pick his own people. So let's just get it out there. I don't know why everyone is so shocked that Henry Cavill is not going to return. This was never going to happen. The second J.J. Abrams walked through the door, I promise you that when he walked through the door, he said, "Okay, I'm going to do this, but anyone that Zack Snyder had, I'm not using." That's just the facts. So I hope you guys must know that now Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa, excuse the stutter, their box office, they're staying. Aquaman 2 is happening. Wonder Woman 3, regardless of how bad Wonder Woman 2 was, it's still happening. So he's gonna have to work with them, which I don't think he'll mind because there's James Wan and Patty Jenkins, whatever. But anyone Zack Snyder touched, he's not messing with. So yeah. But anyways, I just had to put that out there because so many people are freaking surprised, Matt, and it just shocks me. Like this is Jar Jar Abrams we're talking about. He's a petty dude. So how do you feel about J.J. Abrams taking this pivotal position in Warner Bros? And I really think this position is going to be more important than we think. I think he's going to have a lot more to do with this thing. But how do you feel about J.J. Abrams stepping into Warner Bros?
I mean, if he's coming in with like a super strong like SJW agenda, then like it's really gonna probably put me off of my favorite comic book company for as far as like film and stuff goes for the foreseeable future. I mean, but other than that, I mean, it can't really like I don't know how much more worse it could really get at this point. I mean, there's been some really bad films that have come out of DC. Like he could put together a couple decent films before they end up kicking him to the curb because they find out he's a terrible director too. I mean, just look at what he did to Star Wars. So like, I'm really not that like at this point. Like, I don't think it's a step in the right direction, but like, it doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I definitely feel the same way. I mean, the fact that he signed that big contract shocked me. I ain't gonna lie to you, but yeah. I mean, he's on a.
Didn't didn't they? I thought they signed Cavill though.
Huh?
I thought they signed Cavill to do movies, or
Yeah,
was it
but
like a handshake agreement?
um, don't mark
Like
me on
I
this,
thought they
but
signed him to a contract.
yeah, but I think they're chalking it. I'm not sure
How
from
can
the
you
way it
chalk
looks.
a contract?
Well, because I'm pretty sure
What are they just gonna pay?
I'm pretty sure Cavill's contract is already up.
Yeah, but I thought they re-signed him. That's when all these new like news about the new movies were coming out and stuff.
We can check. Hold on.
I could have swore they re-signed him for like 2 or 3 more movies.
I don't know. Let's see what Mr. Cavill's contract is.
Okay, he signs a new deal. We'll return to Superman.
Hmm.
Although that one says coming soon.
Sources say.
So it's kind of like not really. It's like half
Yeah.
confirmed, half
It's
not.
not that confirmed. I mean, maybe they were in talks, but maybe when Jar Jar Abrams came in, they just kind of scratched that. I'm not sure. Would the
I don't.
do you think the Snyder cut would count as a part of that deal or no?
I mean, all of them would have to sign on to do that film because it's being produced through WB. So like they would have to sign, but they could just sign a one movie thing and then be off. You know what I mean?
But the reprise, but what if the contract wasn't a reprise? It was just WB projects. It could
Yeah.
have just been that because like that's what Michael B. Jordan signed, and that's why they're probably eyeing him now because he just signed a massive contract with the WB, like for just projects, and I think that's why he was also eyeing Superman heavy. But
I just don't like. So what role did they say they planned on casting Michael B as?
uh, I mean, I don't think they. I think it's an idea to class him as the Black Superman. What's his name? I forget the dude's name. Black Superman's name. Val Zod.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a terrible idea. It could be a good movie. Like I like Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a good actor.
Oh, that
I
that
just
movie
don't.
will make good money.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's the right route to go. Being as that you don't have a primary, like you don't have like the original like Kal-El Superman established in your universe at all. You know what I mean? Like you need to have the basis of the characters established so that when new derivatives of these characters come out and they have similarities and differences, it's meaningful and it separates them. Like because then you're going to put out this movie and then you're going to put out a movie with Cavill or somebody else as Superman, and then it's not going to become like Kal-El and Val-Zod. It's going to be white Superman and black Superman, and you don't want it to be that way. You want them to be their own characters and coexist, and people can see them that way. If you make them just like two, if you don't have a basis for what the Superman character is supposed to be, the different people who play Superman, they're just going to be that's white Superman and black Superman. They're not going to be that's Kal-El and then this is Val-Zod. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like my play with DC is like they're going to confuse the fans. The fans are going to like the fans are going to be confused.
Right. Especially younger fans.
Yeah, because the only thing that I don't like that this might do is like I just feel like I wouldn't mind the idea of having a new Superman, but I only feel like that would be rightfully earned if they actually went a great route with Henry Cavill. Like I know you didn't like Man of Steel, but deal with it. I mean if BVS was bad, whatever, if
It's terrible.
it is terrible. But if they made like another Man of Steel, if they made a Man of Steel 2 movie and kept on his story till now, where like they want to his contract is ending and they wanted to renew it, I would be like, okay, I'm fine with that. But I don't think we deserve it. And not be like no, and I don't think the world is ready for that right now. Because what's going to happen is it's going to become what Black Panther was.
Right.
And that's where I because this is my thing. Black Panther is not the greatest MCU movie. It's so much far from the greatest MCU solo film. It's a great movie, but what was the driving factor to it? The hype. Not because it like the movie was phenomenal, but the hype is what made it that
I don't
great.
know if I would say phenomenal. It was good.
For me, I mean, and like with all like I know I'm black, but it's not because I didn't like it because I'm black, but like for some reason, bro, I saw the movie like 20 times in theaters. It's just the tone of it, the tone to me was just beautiful, was utterly perfection to me. I mean, I love the tone of the movie. Not the most perfect movie, but I did like it. I liked I got my problems with Killmonger, but I liked the movie. But I wouldn't want this Black Superman to be another Black Panther. You know what I mean? I want it to be deeper. Like I want to actually dig into who the character is and not have a surface issue. And that's kind of the way I feel like it would go. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so because obviously in the comics Val-Zod is like the president of the freaking United States. You know what I mean? So that right there just points to, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, that's a perfect setup for the bull. You know what I mean? So I just don't think the world is ready for that. And I don't know what they should do, man, because like now that because I would have said, okay, let's get Daddy Superman, but now we have the Superman and Lois show. So like they're not going to do that. And by the way, Superman and Lois is actually a really great show. I mean, so far. It's like the two episodes have been all right. Have you probably I know you haven't watched them, but there's been no SJW crap. But you know that's how they are, bro. They butter you up and then
And then
either
they throw it in, they
yes,
sprinkle it in.
exactly. So
Nah, it's I don't know. My whole thing with the CW is that like they canceled Black Lightning. They already ended Arrow. So like the only show left, and I love Black Lightning. I thought
and
that show
Supergirl
was
and Supergirl is ending after this season too. Well, obviously
I was
because
never
of yeah,
I was never
me.
super
Oh
into
yeah,
that
Supergirl.
show.
I liked it the first season. After that, or the first two seasons, and then after Monel went back to the future, I gave up. But
I like her, like the actress is
yeah,
really good as
Melissa
Supergirl.
Benoist is
But
really good.
yeah, she's good as Supergirl, and like she plays her role well. I just never really got super into the show. But like I love the first season of Batwoman too. That was great. And then everything happened with that show, and now I won't watch it. Um Arrow ended, which sucked because Arrow was definitely the best show. Well, besides Black
Ever.
Lightning, but I thought Black Lightning was fire. Like I loved Black Lightning every season. I thought it was really good. It was super interesting. And then like Flash is just it's Flash. Like
Oh God, don't get me
it's just
started
like
with
you're just
freaking
like
Grant
used to
Gustin.
it. You're just like used to it at this point. It's like it is
We
what
are
it
the
is.
Flash.
Yeah, it's
we
like it is what it is. But like also like DC has other TV shows that are slowly being ruined too, and I don't really have any interest. Like you know what I mean? Like I thought Swamp Thing was great. I don't know why that was ever canceled. That show was amazing.
Titans.
Literally, it was fire all the way through. Titans is a joke at this point because there's so many elements about this upcoming season that are just going to completely ruin the show, and they're trying to hype up those elements like everybody doesn't know they're going to ruin the already broken show. And then you have Doom Patrol, and like Doom Patrol is good, but it's a different type of show. It's not like you know what I mean. It's not very serious. It's like not very serious at all.
Yeah.
It's more just kind of like it's like it's like comedy, but it's also like dramatic at certain parts. But it's a good show. It's just it's a different different vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
feel
like,
that. I feel that.
I don't know. I just feel like DC is kind of throwing away a lot of their marquee characters, and then they're not doing anything with them. Like, if you were going to end Arrow, that should mean that, like, okay, Arrow's going to now make an appearance in the DCEU, but he hasn't done that yet. So, like, and you had an opportunity with Birds of Prey to do it because, Black Canary and Green Arrow, but, like, obviously that was super SJW woman power to the core. So, God forbid a man have a important role in that film. But I mean, like, it was just more like even like Ewan McGregor's character was like a joke. Like, it was the worst Black Mass I've ever seen. Same thing with Zaz. Zaz was even weirder. That was the most unaccurate Zaz that I've ever seen. Even worse than Gotham. Like, at least in Gotham, he was still like ruthless. I don't know. It was just
Yeah,
like
it's terrible. Yeah, so as I said, Superman Lois actually isn't that bad as Robert Washington. It's really, really good. But I'm on suicide watch with that show. I'll just put it like that. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. All right, so let's just talk about what we need from this new Superman, and then we'll get into our plights with Warner Bros. Okay. So what we need from this new Superman, for me at least, I'm going to give a couple of things what I need. All right, if they go the Clark Kent route, right? I don't know how they would incorporate it at all. It, I literally have no idea. Hey, Matt, do you have any idea of how they will like incorporate it? Like, I think casting a new Superman, you're killing yourself. I think you're digging yourself another hole. It's either you cast Henry Cavill or you go with Val Zod or you pick some other person. I have no idea.
I said, if they're gonna do Superman, like, okay, Cavill has so much fan support at this point
Yes.
that it would be a really big. And I don't even really like Henry Cavill like that. I don't have anything against him. I'm not one of those people that fanboys over him being Superman. But either way, like, he has so much fan support right now. He's gonna be box office. It's money if you put him in the movie. But the problem is, like, DC doesn't care about that right now. I think DC is so, like, honestly, they're just so kind of like kicking themselves when they're down. They're so upset that like Marvel's kicking their ass that they kind of just keep like making things worse as opposed to being like taking their formula and then usually get to make. Because in my opinion, DC, especially with certain characters like Batman, DC has stories that can easily compete with, and in my opinion, are better than Marvel's stories. Like, you could easily make these into films that do very,
Bro,
very well at the
bro,
box
bro,
office.
bro, listen to me here. All right, hold on. Let me grab some. Let me just show you something, bro. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Lord knows what this man's about to pull out, bro.
Okay, so I have a Marvel encyclopedia and a DC one, right? Marvel. All right. How many pages of heroes do they have in here? Okay, we have 343 pages of superheroes, right? 343. How many heroes do you have in the universe? They have about 300. Yeah. So we have 340 pages, right? Now we go to DC, bro. By the way, this thing looks really good. Okay. That's now remember 340 pages. Mind you, bro. So DC has 356, but on each page, these are all the heroes that they just left out of the book. Look at that. Look how, bro. And these aren't people that don't have, like, these are not people that don't have their own page. Like, and it goes on and on, bro. DC has so many more better stories, more and better stories, better heroes, way better villains, way more villains that make sense than Marvel. It's impossible that we get the same stories 24/7. And so for this new Superman to work, whether it's with Cavill or anyone, we need new stories, we need new villains, we need higher stakes, and we need a connection to collaboration. But most importantly, they need to take a Superman story that no one knows or that isn't popular that is going to make everyone go crazy. Like literally, like I'm at this point where nah, never mind. I'm gonna say that. I'm just shut up. That's a wild take. I was about to say I want to say Superman 1 million, but no. Yeah,
No,
no, I'm
no,
just yeah,
no. We don't
but
need that.
but he was basically a god. And hold on, my headphones went out. But yeah, but like, I mean, he would basically be a god, and we have enough of that. So, but like, I think we need higher stakes, new villains, new story. I would love to resume it after Justice League, whether if it's the Snyder cut or the regular, but like resume it right there and just keep it going, man. I don't. I would not want to if they get Cavill back, they should not start over. If they do,
Well,
that is the dumbest thing to do, bro.
okay, so honestly, like DC kind of really put themselves in a bad position because like the easiest thing for them to build to right away would obviously be like the Anti-Monitor and Crisis on Infinite Earths, but they kind of tried to do that in the CW. They did a really like lackluster job of doing it, but like I mean, it was the build was good, but like the execution was kind of weird because they don't have rights to all the characters and everything. You know what I mean? Like I was really excited for it, but then like you kind of saw how it turned out, and it wasn't that it was bad. It's just it definitely didn't capture the actual essence of what Crisis on Infinite Earths was in the comics. And like you see what like Marvel did with like their formulas to success. Like everything for the Infinity Saga was done meticulously, and it was done with everything, every single like scene, post credit scene, all that stuff, every storyline built towards a bigger goal. And like DC has literally has comic book stories that you could just read and then just put in a movie. Like it
Bro,
literally
you
it
don't even
does
have to change
exactly that.
anything. You don't have to adapt any. You literally adapt it from the page to the comic, I mean, to the screen, and that's literally what the animated. And it's funny to me because the animated shows are better. I mean, the animated movies are better than the live actions by a long shot.
Well, because that's what they do is they do exactly what they're supposed to do. They just take what's there and put it on the screen. And now like with Marvel, like obviously they didn't take everything straight out of the book and do it exactly out of the way it was. But like what I'm saying is like you could do that with DC or you could do what Marvel did and tweak some things. And either way, like DC has the formula to do it. They just continually choose not to. I don't understand the rationale or the logic behind it. It doesn't make sense. Like there's no explanation as to why they keep doing what they're
I mean,
doing and just keep
there
doing random
is
stories.
the explanation is that the people that make the core decisions, they're all men in suits, and it's not actual sweats that know the stuff, and that's the issue, bro. Like, bro,
Well, yeah,
it,
that's what Feige's just. That's why
he's a
Marvel
Marvel
does so
sweat.
well.
He's a nerd, bro,
I
and
think he just likes comic books, period. But he's the one who had the vision to be like, if you really want something to be successful, you got to build it up, and that's why he built the MCU the way he did, and he meticulously put all these end credit
think about
scenes and
his
all these
story, bro. He
storylines
left the X-Men and
in this
crapped on
order,
everything they made, like
bro.
literally.
He did everything in order and built everything perfectly to this climax that like had everybody waiting on the edge of their seat. And like that's the whole thing that like DC could easily do that because you got to think about like the top tier villains that DC has that they could build to. Like there's zero explanation why you use Doomsday and BVS. Like Doomsday is a character that like should have been showed up in like Superman 3.
There's no way BVS should have happened.
Right. That should never have happened the way it did because like Batman and Superman, like yeah, they've squared off in the past in the comics,
They're
but
like
other than the
best
Dark Knight
friends,
Return,
bro. They're
but
like
other than
they're close as heck, bro. They're tight.
other other than the Dark Knight Returns, they never really had like a huge fight like that. But that's also my problem with Zack Snyder is that he only reads like one or two stories and then he thinks he understands the character. He doesn't because he's an idiot. But like it is what it is, I guess. I don't understand why he went that route to begin with. But
Yeah.
that's the issue with like that is like you have Doomsday, you have Darkseid. Like they're making a Justice League movie and they just immediately put Dark like technically like I guess what's the dude that did Justice League the first time he swapped for
Joss
Zack
Whedon.
Snyder? Joss Whedon, yeah, the one who did Avengers. He like took Darkseid out, which like yeah, in reality like was probably in theory like the way he was thinking was right, although it just
If you
made
were
the
making
movie a
a
lot
second
worse.
one.
Right, right. It made the movie a lot worse because it's just a standalone movie, and that's what
But
DC wanted to
but
do.
but but think about it. In Justice League War, they put Darkseid in and it worked out just fine.
Yeah, but Justice League War is a straight comic adaptation, so like that's
True.
why it, you know what I mean, and it's like based off of it, you know what I mean. So like it's different, but like in you have these villains like Darkseid, Brainiac, Doomsday, like all these like Anti Monitor, like all these like top tier echelon villains
Even
that they could be
Bizarro.
fighting
I
against.
mean,
Bizarro, well, Bizarro's not like a top tier villain because he's
no,
kind of
no, but
stupid.
I
But
meant like he could have been a good like B list to like, you know what I mean, with like a
well, yeah,
Lex
because you
Luthor kind of a character, you know.
yeah, because you have like the Injustice Society, you have all these things they could fight, or even like the Dark Knight's Metal storyline was extremely popular in the comics in the last couple of years. Like that could have been a whole film in itself. The Batman Who Laughs would have been insane to do. Or like even if they tried to go the like the exploring like the multiverse, like or they went the Earth 3 route. Earth 3 is a great storyline. Like there's so many avenues that DC could go, even if they wanted to just do like quick builds and stand like just do like quick builds that act as standalones, but go
The
together.
whole
Maybe they're
it,
just 3 or 4 movies, then it's done, and then you go to the next thing. You could do it that way, but they just don't.
Yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder, as much as like, and my hype for the Snyder Cut is kind of going down, and it's not because of anything bad. I just think that Warner Bros. Doesn't like Zack Snyder, and I just think that like, I mean, it's going to be. I think that the Snyder Cut's going to be good, but I mean, after WandaVision episode 9, I'm on suicide watch for all of these shows. Not saying that I'm going to kill myself, but when I say suicide watch, I'm like, I'm just not getting. I'm optimistic, but I'm not as optimistic as I usually am. You know what I mean? I'm kind of keeping like a side eye to everything. So, but Zack Snyder messed up from the start because you didn't give us a Batman movie to number one get comfortable with Ben Affleck, and to and number two, there was no introduction of Robin or Nightwing. There were no types of other characters, and that's my issue with Warner Brothers is that they don't want to develop new side characters to these heroes. All they want to do is do Batman and Batman. Where's Robin? Where's Nightwing? Where's Batgirl? Where's all these other characters? Like, and this is why I say we could have did a old Batman with Ben Affleck and put Batgirl, Batwoman, Nightwing, Robin around him because they could have been like, like more of the center of attention with Batman in the back kind of being like a mentor because like I get it, we got the Dark Knight, we've already seen Batman in his prime, so as they say. Now I don't really, I think the Dark Knight trilogy is overrated, but whatever. But if you go that route, we need to have a separate movie with Ben Affleck's Batman, but have other characters built around him if you want to do that. And I think that right there is what killed Ben Affleck's Batman, and not to mention the bloody terrible performance in BVS. But there was so much opportunity that could have been taken with Henry Cavill Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman that never happened. That's the issue. There was so much
So
potential right there.
so the issue with BVS is that like and not having a prior Batman film like is the problem. And it's not even as much as that they needed to put these other characters around them. Like to me, that's something that should come in time. And with the Batman that Zack Snyder chose to do, there is no side characters. Batman's by himself. The only one that you could really do is Carrie Kelly, and like
I
that
know,
would
but
just
like
not
no,
work well.
but yeah, but and that's all I was saying. Like to lead to where he is in BVS, we could have done one where like he had his family, then they could have got all disbanded after Jason Todd or whatever, and then we could
Right.
have got into this darker Batman where he's like mad, like depressed, and has a killer car or whatever.
Well, they literally could have done The Dark Knight Returns as a solo Batman movie and then did BVS because then it would just make a lot more sense. Or at least given like did something with a prior Batman film to show you why Batman is so unlike how Batman is supposed to be in BVS. The Zack Snyder's portrayal and Ben Affleck's portrayal, like I thought Ben Affleck did a good job with the cards that he was dealt, but for the most part, like that portrayal of Batman is like actually more inaccurate as Batman than Adam West. Like it was just like it made no sense. He was literally just out there murdering people for no reason. He's branding people, like he's just doing random shit that makes no sense at all. Like it literally is just like why would he be doing this? And then he's like, then they show you that little like lightning strike in the background with the grapple hook to like nod to the Dark Knight Returns, and with the 5 o'clock shadow and everything, Ben Affleck kind of gives you like that vibe. But like in reality, like that's not your starting point. And the Dark Knight Returns is not Batman's starting point. The whole point of the Dark Knight Returns is that like Batman never takes on another sidekick after Jason Todd dies. He quits not that long after, and then he just goes on in hiatus, and then he decides to come back because Gotham's gotten so bad that he comes back
And
and he's
not
much
to
more
mention,
ruthless.
in the Dark Knight Return story, this man literally still has PTSD from his parents. Like this man literally starts having visions and crap. Like it's so much deep. Like the Dark Knight Returns movie could have been so much deeper. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
They could have
yeah.
explained why he's so ruthless and why he's like why he is this way in BVS. Like BVS, like yeah, like stylistically, yeah, it looks good. Like Zack Snyder is a talented director in the sense that he understands, slow mo and like with camera angles. He understand for action sequences. He understands cinematography. He understands the ideas of these things. The issue is that he doesn't understand the characters and he doesn't understand what he's doing, because that's why I've said a million times he did so well with 300 and with Watchmen, because it's such limited source material. All he had to do was read the Watchmen story and then put it into a movie. All he had to do was read 300, which is a longer book, but it's still just one story, and then put it onto the screen. With Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and these characters, they have like generations worth of material to go through. And it just honestly shows you how lazy Zack Snyder is, because I'm 110%. No, listen, I'm 110% positive that he literally Googled top Batman stories and he just read the first three, which are literally usually The Dark Knight Returns, Year One, and then maybe The Long Halloween or Death in the Family. Those are the only things that he would have read. That's the only basis he has for Batman at all.
Yeah. But I don't also put this on Zach. I put this on Warner Bros. As a company because, I mean, let's look at Marvel's model, right? Kevin Feige tells the directors, "We have the content to make. You just got to put it on the screen." Warner Bros. Doesn't have a team of people that helps like they don't have a sweat where if Zack Snyder brought to them his script, they're like, no, we have to change this. We got to change that. We got to change that. Like we gotta put this in there. They don't have no one that does that, and that's why Warner Bros. Always feels, because the director does everything. They do everything. They write the scripts. Like Patty Jenkins, bro. What the heck was that? It's the fact of that these people don't know anything past their origins. And the issue, bro, is that they don't have, and I'm gonna keep pushing. They don't have a sweat in there to check these directors like Marvel does. Marvel's has sweats that checks their stuff, bro, to make sure that it's comically accurate or that it fits in with the plot, bro. That's the issue. That's the issue right there, man. Excuse me. But yeah, like I totally understand with what you're saying though, is that Zack Snyder, like BVS was a terrible job. I mean,
Well, okay, so but it's really not WB's fault though, because like Feige went to Marvel and he wanted to do this. Like I haven't really seen anybody like try to step up for DC, although I know that Ben Affleck actually did have legitimate ideas for like his Batman
didn't he want
film.
to direct his own Batman film? And I think that would have been phenomenal.
He did, but Warner Bros. Did shut that down. So partially, I do blame it on them. I mean, I think it's the problem with WB is that they try to micromanage everything as opposed to letting like Feige is one person micromanaging everything. They have an entire like board of directors trying to like micromanage every film, and then like so that's why you get these hit and miss mentality that DC has now, where you have some films like Aquaman, which is what's great, Wonder Woman was great, Shazam was great, and then you have films like BVS, you have films like Birds of Prey that are just absolutely terrible. Like, and there's no like they're so far off of like where they should be that like it makes you wonder how a film like Aquaman came out so good. Like it makes you wonder how Shazam turned out okay. It makes you wonder how Wonder Woman was so good. Like because it's like, like they put out this, which was great, and then they put out this, which was like arguably one of the worst films I've ever seen. Like, how is this possible? And it's because you have a bunch of people running around with chickens with their heads cut off, but that all have no idea what they're doing.
It's literally like gambling. Like it's like you hire a random director and see what they can do, and then if they're successful, you film a second one, and if not, you fire them. I mean, that's literally how Warner Bros. Is basically acting towards now. So yeah, bro. I mean, that it's very upsetting with the road that Warner Brothers is going, because I don't really see any progress. And we were talking about this in the chat, man. Like, because obviously next up is Robert Pattinson's Batman, and just to make sure that you guys know, because I say this every time I talk about Robert Pattinson, I think he will be the greatest Batman of all time. And I think he already is, in my opinion. But with doing this newer content, like doing these, and I'm happy that we're getting like a Batman year 1 story. I'm happy about that, but or year 2, whatever. But the question is, what's next after that? Like, are we building continuity on top of this? And I don't think they're doing that, bro. I don't think DC is taking the time to build. I just think they're still in the mindset of doing one film and just seeing it, doing one trilogy film of a hero without building. Like, I don't know.
Batman has way too much to just do one film. Like, especially if it does well. I do agree with you, though. I think the mentality that they do have with their films is that they're giving people a chance, and if it doesn't do well, then they just fire them and hire someone else. And like, that's a terrible mentality to have, because then you also have people working under extra pressure and extra stress, knowing that if this film is not do well and does not compete with the standards that Marvel has set, then they're now just going to lose their job, which is kind of shitty. But that's just the way that DC's operating right now, because like I said, I think they're all freaking out because Marvel's destroying them, when like DC is, prior to like the MCU, so prior to really to 2008 till when Iron Man came out, DC had always, for the most part, done better than Marvel. Like Marvel's filed for bankruptcy like in the past multiple
I
times.
know, yeah.
They've always done better than Marvel because they've always had better stories and better characters. But when you put people like, anyone can, and that's not to say that Marvel had bad stories. It's just that like you got to think about like back in the day when you grew up, like Marvel had the X-Men show that was great, the animated show, but like DC had Superman, Batman, all these Justice League, all these animated shows that were hugely popular, and all these movies that did really well, the original Batman series. Whereas like Marvel really didn't have a lot of great films. Like they had the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, which did okay, but like the third one really flopped and that hurt them a lot. And then they had like Daredevil, which was, and Electro, which were both box office failures. The original Punisher I thought was really good, but it still didn't.
Yeah,
None of
then
them made as much,
Blade, crap like that. Yeah, it's a bunch of crap.
but none of them made as much noise as like the Michael Keaton Batman film when it came out, or like the Christopher Reeve Superman film. Like those films became like really popular. And so your mainstream superheroes, really aside from Spider-Man, because Spider-Man did have an animated series that was pretty popular as well, and then the X-Men. So they had the X-Men movies earlier, but they also had to, that's the whole reason they had to lend these characters and rights out to different places to make these films, is because Marvel was out of money. Basically, they couldn't afford to produce their own films. And so like that was literally, like you can see the transition and see how much proper planning and meticulous determination to make something like great can go a long way. And it's like DC just literally just like, we're just gave their property to Warner Bros. It was like, okay, just make us films, make it great. When like that's not how it works. You can't just, and if they don't have direction and they don't, people at WB don't truly know the stories of these characters and don't know, like that's why Paul Dini and they did so great with the Batman the Animated Series, is because he knew Batman and he knew how to write Batman. He knew how to write Robin. He knew how to write the Joker. He knew how to write every character in every story to make every episode great. The animation was great. The stories were great. The character developments were great. Like everything about the show was done proper because they knew the characters. If they put Paul Dini in, honestly, if he would never do it, but if they put Paul Dini at like a Kevin Feige type position, every single DC film would be fantastic. I guarantee it.
Yes, box office, billion
It would be
dollar film,
fantastic. They would
easy,
blow They would blow Marvel out of the water. I
bro.
guarantee
But
it.
that's what I say all the time, bro. DC is better than Marvel, like as in character depth and stuff, bro. Marvel does not touch DC, bro, at all. It's crazy how much they're playing. They just it's like you have all the eggs in your basket and you're just throwing them out on purpose every time, man. And I'm getting to the point where I don't even know if WB deserves DC's IP, man. I think they might need to go somewhere else, bro. To be frank with you, I think they need. I don't know if Warner Bros. I don't know if they deserve DC anymore, man.
Bro, it doesn't, how, think about how long WB, or like think about how long DC's been with WB. Is that like a lifetime contract? Like how, wow, let's how long, look up how long DC is. Are they just permanently acquired to WB, or like how does that work?
Look,
Because WB I feel like has been in possession of DC for as long as I can remember.
yeah, bro, forever seems like.
Like as long as I can remember.
Hold up. Oh my god. Of course, when I launch my Google Chrome, bro, I have Den of Nerds. He's just ranting about Wanda and Vision, bro. Because he was pissed about the ending. It's all this crap. You know what? My freaking laptop's being weird. All right, I'm gonna just do it on my freaking iPad. You said how long DC has been bought by the Warner Bros.
Like how long they've owned Warner Bros. Yeah, and like or how long Warner Bros. has owned their property, and how like how long they still have left on it.
Bros contracts. Contract deal. Let's see.
Because WB does the animated stuff too. It's just crazy to me how that magically comes out so much better than their films do.
What the heck is this? This is nothing about the IP. Funny that you say that, bro. Nothing's popping up about how long their deal is.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just like a permanent lease or something.
They could probably be bought out though. Probably a lot of money though. But I think DC might become to the point where they might have to sell their IP. I mean, Warner Bros. Man, they might have to sell the DC IP. Man, I don't know. Don't be shocked if Disney buys it, bro. I'm telling you straight up. Don't be shocked. That might happen.
If Disney buying it could either be really good or really terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because if Disney owned both DC and Marvel's film properties, like, in theory, they could put them up against each other, and that might be really bad because then you're basically giving somebody the power to determine, because that's the way films work, right? Like when somebody puts out a film, right? Like, so let's look at Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, 2002. Ultimate Comics were really popular at that time, and Spider-Man was shooting webs out of his hands because in the Ultimate Comics, the characters gained alternate abilities and became, like better versions of themselves. And so for the longest time, people actually thought that Spider-Man shot webs out of his hand. They didn't know that he built web shooters.
And from Sam Raimi's film too, remember? It literally came out of his skin, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, like he didn't build web shooters in those movies. He just shot them out of his hand. And I literally got in an argument with somebody because he thought that the new Spider-Man, where they were building web shooters, was wrong and that he actually shot it out of his hands. And I was like, but that's what I mean. So somebody who's not into comic books and not into superheroes like that at all, the general public, like these films carry a lot of weight in their eyes because they see that as like, this is the way it is. So if Disney owned DC and Marvel, and if Disney just decided, okay, DC is 10 times more powerful than Marvel, and they just had them beat the shit out of every Marvel character, or the opposite, if they had Marvel's 10 times more powerful than DC, and they just had every Marvel character destroy every DC character, you would have the general public thinking that one company, their characters are significantly superior to another. And that's not the way it should ever be. That's why when they did the DC versus Marvel, it was done perfect because they had an even split for that exact reason, so that nobody thought that anybody was exponentially more powerful than anyone else.
Yeah, I feel that, bro. But who knows, man? I just don't know what's going to happen for the future. So, all right, let's get back to the topic real fast. All right, so for the topic of Superman, as we said, we just need, we don't know what they want to do. We can both agree that we don't want Black Superman, right? Or
it's not that I don't, like I said,
the world's not ready for it, bro. It's the worst time to have one.
Yeah, I said that might be a question that maybe you're just more suited to answer. It like he is, if they're doing like, you know what I mean, like Val Zod, like he is a Black Superman, like so, like there's no really issue with doing it. I don't think that they would be doing it in the correct order because, like I said earlier, I think you should establish the basis of what the Superman character is, with Kal-El, the original Superman. And then that way, Val-Zod stands apart as a different Superman. He doesn't just stand apart because, oh, he's black Superman versus white Superman. Like, you would be able to create legitimate differences in their characters that way. But, like, for the most part, like, if that, like I said, that's more of a question that I think you should answer.
Yeah. Well, coming from this black man over here, no black Superman for me. I want to sit with Kal-El. I want Henry Cavill to finish this out personally. I would love that, but we probably won't get that. So who knows? Um, so for the future of WB, I am very scared for what's going to happen, man. I don't know because after Wonder Woman 2, Wonder Woman 3, I don't know what's going to be the deal with Gal Gadot after that. I don't know if she's going to be done because I'm pretty sure her contract is up after this next one. And Jason Momoa, Aquaman 2 should be fire, but what is going to make DC great is Justice League. That's the only way to do it. But they have to take the time to build everything up the way it should be. Like, is Ezra going to be staying as a Flash? I know they're doing Flashpoint. Are they still moving along with Ezra? That's another thing that's going to hurt the franchise. I don't think Flashpoint's going to, like, I was saying this in our group chat earlier, bro. I don't want a Flashpoint movie. I don't. We don't need it. We do not need we do not need a Flashpoint movie right now. It's not going to do good in the friggin' box office. You can bring back Michael Keaton. You can bring back it's not going to work out well. We don't need that.
Bro, nobody even that's because you can't do.
Do people even know about Ezra's Flash? I mean, just be honest with you, bro. I don't think people, the regular fan base, even knows about Ezra's Flash.
Well, and doing Flashpoint right away, like Flashpoint cannot be the first story that you do. That makes no sense at all. Like,
no, yeah,
that's a terror. It's just it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, you literally just throw in the Reverse Flash like it's nothing. Like, no, you got to build that up, bro. Like,
yeah, it's a recipe for disaster.
And this is another part of why I say, like, I hate superhero shows because the Flash show hurts the movie because it's gotten so much Reverse Flash that Pete, and as you said earlier, right, with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, people always thought the Spider-Man shot out of his hands. This is the same thing of people see Wells as the Flash TV show guy, and if they bring in a darker version, because the Reverse Flash is actually dark as heck. I mean, really, dude is messed up. It would hurt the movie because everyone sees Harrison Wells as the TV show Flash, you know? And like when I talk to regular fans, bro, about like Ezra or even the idea of getting into a Flash, do you know what they all say? They all say, I want Grant Gustin in the movies.
His Flash is just as inaccurate as Ezra's.
He's a whiny girl. But
yeah, like Ezra's an idiot, and then Grant Gustin's like whiny and annoying. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, the Flash in the comics is, although he is like a more like, he's definitely less of an like alpha male than Superman. He's still not like, he's not like whiny and complaining all the time.
He's a Ryan Reynolds kind of like personality. Like, he jokes around all the time and isn't like, you know what I mean? Like, right. He's like a sarcastic jokester, always hitting on girls, kind of. You know, he's that guy. You know what I'm talking about. He's that guy.
He's more like he's more like a Gamma type personality, if anything, honestly, because he's kind of just like a mix of all different personalities. He's got a lot of things going on. That's like the whole thing with the Flash is that he's nerdy, but at the same time he's also really cool, and he's also at the same time really relatable. So like he has a lot of things going on for him that attract a lot of people to him. But when you do him incorrectly, like the way the show does, and then especially the way the movie did him, which was just terrible, like you kind of get this like really weird like mix of emotions from audiences where like they don't know which one is more accurate, or they just know which one they like better. And like I will say, like I do prefer Grant Gustin's Flash over Ezra's Flash because that shit is just bad.
Yeah. Ezra is terrible. I mean, I don't even know why they're continuing the movie with this idiot, but I feel the same way, bro. And like the Flash's personality is like a dialed down Robert Downey without the arrogance. Like he's very jokey and like he's just there to have fun. Like that's why I love the Flash in the old animated shows. Like he was always so fun.
Well, that was Wally more than Barry. Wally is a lot more like Barry still cracked jokes, but like Wally was definitely more comical.
Wait, talking about Wally was in the Justice League animated?
Yes. Yes, that's Wally. That's not Barry.
Like dun, 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 like that one. Like Justice
Yes.
League Unlimited. No, that was Wally.
Yes. Yes.
Bro, I must be late to the party, bro. My God. They call him
Yes.
Wally in the show.
Yes. He Batman unmasked and he says Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Wally West. You don't remember that?
It's been a long time, bro. It's been a while.
Not to mention he's a redhead and Barry's a blonde.
Bro, I forgot. Jesus, Wally West. Barry's dead at that point.
They literally barely even talk about Barry. They only make like one reference to him, and it's in the Flash Appreciation Day episode where he talks about his uncle coming and he's talking about Barry. But other than
Dang,
that,
I wonder why they don't bring him up.
or is not his uncle, his brother, whatever he is related to Barry. That's the only
Brother-in-law.
relation that they have to. That's the only relation that they bring up about Barry from Wally.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't go with Barry Allen.
It's because Wally was the current Flash in the comics. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was. Because Barry didn't come back until like 2000.
Yeah, bro, and that's another thing, bro. If
maybe
that's the thing, bro. If they had Barry in, they could have did Wally West, just like they did in the animators, and kept the two separated.
Well, to be fair, I honestly think that Ezra's Flash would be a little bit more acceptable to me as Wally than as Barry. I still don't like him, but because I just think he's a little too quirky and like, you know what I mean, annoying.
He's like a shy little kid. It's kind of annoying.
Right, but like, although like I will say, like my mom found the Flash really funny in the movie. So like that being said, I think he would be a lot more generally acceptable as Wally because he already does make people laugh, but he would be more acceptable to the people that know the comics as Wally, not Barry.
Exactly.
But that again just goes to show you that Zack Snyder does not know anything about the characters that he's talking about.
Nope. No. And that's why my hype for the Zack Snyder is going down because I feel like he's throwing in all these good characters to try to hype us up. But then when we actually watch it, it's
literally imagine if Justice League comes out on HBO Max and magically the Flash is Wally West.
I would be like, God. Wow.
I would start laughing so hard. I'd be like, probably just listen to all the criticism he's got for the last 4 years and just put it in this
by
movie.
The way, I know on the Papa,
like Eminem's Kamikaze.
Fact, bro. I know on the Papa, dude. Can I like come over and so we can like watch it?
What?
Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
But we gotta watch that together, bro. I need to see your reaction. But yeah. So I mean, bro, it's just I don't know. And obviously we're getting Black Adam, and this is another thing. Like we're getting Black Adam, all these separate projects, bro. It's just so frustrating because they're not hooking, and it's like is Black Adam hooking up to Shazam at all?
Yeah,
it is. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if we do another Shazam, I love Shazam 1, but we need a darker tone.
Well, I really want to see Henry Cavill and Dwayne duke it out. Like I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, we do.
Because that's another saving grace for DC is that okay, like yeah, Marvel does have all the hit movies and a lot of A-list actors. DC has the A-list actor right now. Like The Rock is
he's the biggest actor in the world.
Right. So like they do have that going for him. And that means that Black Adam is pretty much an instant moneymaker, regardless if it's a good film or not. Yeah, it's an instant moneymaker because The Rock is in it. And so like they do have that going for them, which that's great. And I honestly think that The Rock will do a really good job as Black Adam.
Oh, for sure.
Just because his overall demeanor, like especially like if you like know anything about The Rock's, you know, history, he was a pro wrestler. That's why he's called The Rock. Yeah. And he was very good at talking in third person and kind of being very verbally abusive to people. And that's kind of how Black Adam kind of is. He's very undermining and he talks a lot of smack. And then he also lays the smack down just like The Rock. So like, you know what I mean? Like it could be really I think he could do it really well and he could really play off of Zach Levi's Shazam really well too. So like I honestly think that is honestly in my opinion going to be really really cool as long as they don't drastically mess it up.
Yeah, and the key to me, because Black Adam and Shazam are going to be two different tones. Like so like the movie. So the tone, like my only thing I didn't like about Shazam was the tone. It was just a little too cartoonish for me. Not it just came out. It was like the tone of the movie didn't feel superhero-y, if you know what I mean, you know. So I really want the tone to be a little bit darker, so him and Black Adam can duke it out, and plus so we can take Zachary Levi Shazam a little bit more seriously, and I think that'll be the pinnacle right there. And plus, they already had the Superman. They already had Superman freaking cameo in the end of Shazam, so it's only right to do a Superman versus Shazam versus Black Adam. I mean, and you're right. They had the biggest actor, The Rock. So why don't you use The Rock until he doesn't want to do it anymore? You know,
Especially because The Rock was so amped to play Black Adam. Like he was so hyped.
he still
about
is
it.
hype, bro. He posts about it every day. Where he has a
Yeah,
hashtag called Black Adam workouts. Like he's
yeah, but I'm
pumped,
saying
bro.
like, why would you not capitalize on that? Like immediately just be like, The Rock wants to do Black Adam. We should put Black Adam out tomorrow. Like that's the way it should
Yes,
be.
bro. Black Adam should be out like next month, bro. Like Black Adam should have been done filming. They should have been
That's
filming
what
this
I
thing
mean.
last year, bro.
But to
Like,
be fair, COVID did kind of throw a wrench at a lot of plans. So I can't really be mad about that.
bro, if The Rock wanted this nigga.
Got yourself there.
Sorry. Oh man, I'm almost slipped out. The Rock is still releasing projects. Oh my god, I love this podcast. The Rock is still releasing projects, bro. They could have got it done last year. I don't care what they say, bro. This man, dog. Black Adam's gonna be crazy, bro. Because then aren't they having like all like the old school Justice Leaguers too, or not just?
Well,
Leaguers,
it'll be the Justice Society.
Justice Society, and they're having the Green Lantern, right?
Super hyped for that. I'm super hyped for the Justice. I love the Justice Society. It's another thing that DC has yet to explore, really, that they should.
How do you like the Hawkman? How you like the Hawkman casting?
I'm not mad at it. I think it can be good. I mean, Hawkman and Hawkgirl are from, Thanagar, which like it's the you know what I mean? It's a different part of the world, you know what I mean? That's never really been explored. Like it was explored a little bit in the Justice League TV show, like the original one with the Thanagarian invasion.
In Smallville.
In my opinion, would be a perfect movie. Like Thanagarian invasion from the Justice League. Oh my god, that would be an amazing movie.
And they hinted to it in Legends of Tomorrow, but they were more like reincarnated characters instead of
well, like the Legends of Tomorrow they were really completely tied to Vandal Savage, which like that was cool, but it was definitely not like it still wasn't fully explored. So I hope we get some more exploration because Black Adam being from Kahndaq, we can go about that way.
Wait, really bro. Dope. Imagine we got Vandal Savage, Legion of Doom.
Well, I think they're going to do a bunch of really cool stuff with The Rock. Like The Rock definitely, plus like anyone of The Rock's caliber in Hollywood, like this guy's got a lot of creative control. And
he's doing whatever he wants, bro.
Yeah, like if The Rock thinks something's a terrible idea, The Rock is going to be like, "That's a terrible idea. Take it out of my movie." Because like you hired The Rock, like this is now The Rock's film. I don't even know who's directing Black Adam, but it's not their film; it's The Rock's film.
Yeah,
and that's just the way it is because
which means it's going to be a lot of action, a lot of smashing, which is going to be amazing. I mean,
right, and it'll tell a good story because The Rock's always been real. Like, what has The Rock put out in like recent memory that's been bad? Like actually been bad, not been like, oh, I didn't really like that.
Rampage with the ape, but that was like. But this is the thing about The Rock, right? And people don't understand. The Rock doesn't care about America's numbers. He makes all of his numbers overseas. So
that's true.
So like any movie that we say is bad hit the numbers like in China. You know how much China loves him, bro? Like. Or in every other country. So
yeah, but like you have your Fast and Furious like loyalists, right? That like only like the original ones because they focus a lot more on racing.
Hobbs and Shaw still killed it. Hit the number. Hobbs and Shaw hit $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying. The numbers on it are just crazy, and like it's like you can't stop this man, bro. He can do whatever he wants. Like I literally feel like The Rock could literally do whatever he wanted, bro, and no one would care.
Bro, The Rock could do Black Adam, right? He could release Black Adam right now, and tomorrow. Sign for a MCU deal, and then the next day sign for a Star Wars deal, and no one would care. No one would say, "Oh, this is continuity." No one would care, bro.
Yeah, they'd be like, "You can do all three. It's cool, man."
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, The Rock could sign as Thrawn right now, and no one would care.
Oh God, nah. I literally don't think there's a single like Star Wars character that The Rock could play, and it'd be realistic to The Rock. Like, maybe like Savage Opress because he's like strong as hell, but
he's too big, bro. I don't know. He could be an alien like Cal's he could be Cal's master maybe.
I don't know. Like I said, Savage Press is like what I'm thinking because he's just big and you know what I mean, strong,
Yeah.
really physically dominant. But Savage Press gets
Him as a Jedi would look so
murked.
stupid because he's so big, bro. I can see him being in like the Bad Batch, the live action movie.
Busky ass stormtrooper.
Yeah, bro. He'd be the one of the Bad Batchers,
Yeah.
but yeah, bro. Like they have an opportunity right now with this Black Adam, and prayerfully this becomes the biggest box office movie, so then they could just make The Rock just do whatever he wants. And because I mean, let's be honest, we're probably getting 3 Black Adam films. I mean, this movie's gonna be really big.
Also, let's be honest here. As much as we want to see Henry Cavill and Black Adam, I feel like we need to see Jason Momoa and Black Adam. Not because he would really stand that much of a chance, but just because I'd want to see Jason Momoa and The Rock standing next to each other.
Bro, facts.
Just throwing down. That would be awesome.
Bro, throw all three of them in there, bro. But they're all just mad husky, bro. Like that would be insane, dog. Like, bro, you know how crazy that would be?
Dude, The Rock and Jason Momoa would probably be hilarious on screen. Like it would just be so funny.
Yeah, them just throwing shots at each other 24/7, bro. I will laugh my butt off.
Well, because Black Adam has joined the Justice League on certain occasions. You know what I mean? So, like, just saying. And
I mean, he is like an anti-hero.
Right. The type of, especially in more recent stories. So, like, knowing The Rock, too, that's definitely the role he's trying to gear towards 100%. Because the only issue is then you're going to have like Pattinson, especially if the Batman. So, like, let's put a future Justice League in perspective, right? If you end up keeping Henry Cavill, he's already got a ton of star power. Not more than The Rock, obviously, but like put it like this: like if the Batman does well, right? They decide to do another Justice League film, right? You have Cavill, you have Gal Gadot, you have Jason Momoa, you have Pattinson. Like you have this A-list cast, really. And then could you imagine, like right when they're on like the brink of destruction, everything's about to fall apart. The Rock shows up and just starts laying the smack it down. That shit would be awesome, bro.
Yeah, and then he just dips. Like he could literally come in and just dip. Like, all right, see you later. And just dip. Like,
right.
And then he'll just show up every now and then, like, because you know he's getting older. That'd be insane, bro. And who knows the people The Rock could bring in, like a Jason Statham to be like a main henchman for like, bro. Imagine
Jason Statham could low-key play Victor Zsasz and play it really well. Probably,
yes.
He looks like Zsasz. Like, and if he had the scarring,
he could pull off. He could pull off a Vandal Savage if he wanted to.
True.
Like Statham has the potential to be a really he could be like who knows the kind of people that Dwayne Johnson could pull in, bro. I mean,
you know who would be a good Zsasz? That guy who played the dude who played Charles Xavier, and he played
James McAvoy.
That's what I thought of McAvoy. Okay, yeah, him because when he played in It, he could play Zsasz really well. Or not It. He played in what was it called? The Personality Split. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
But don't be shocked. I've been hearing rumors, man. Apparently, he might be recasted as Professor X. So,
well, we'll see about that. I don't know what they're going to do with the X-Men. I just hope they do it right. But this isn't about that. So let's just...
Yeah. I was just saying that might not. I don't think that's happening, bro. The rumor mill's been spinning about Mr. McAvoy. Man, he got to kiss Angelina Jolie, man. He's a lucky dude. But anyways, yeah. So, yeah, bro. It's just crazy. Like I think Black Adam's going to be like box office for sure. There's no doubt about that one.
For sure.
But yeah,
I'm excited for the future, though. We'll see what happens. I'm worried, but I'm excited at the same time.
Yeah, like as much as the future is going to suck, I mean, let's be honest. We're still going to get a good Batman movie, a good, freaking good Black Adam movie. Shazam 2 is probably going to be great because we're going to have Black Adam and Shazam. They're already talking about that. So, and Aquaman 2. So regardless, so let's just put this here. Regardless of the bullcrap that's going to happen, and I'm going to say this about Star Wars and not really Marvel because a lot of stuff is great, but I'm going to say this about Star Wars and DC. As much crap as going to happen, there will be some good content, and we just have to take advantage of what's great. Just like what we did with the Mandalorian, we just got to take advantage of what's good and just rock with it. And what's bad, we crap on it, yes, but we just move on to better things, okay? And if Warner Brothers loses the DC IP, I will be happy. So, all right, guys, we are going to end it here. Thank you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe everywhere. You know, we do have a Patreon where we're working on that, but you know, we post daily news and stuff like that. So if you want to hop on that, pay for some tears, get on that for me. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day wherever you're listening from. Deuces.